Welcome to the final round of the New Zealand Super Truck Racing Championship at Taupo International Motorsport Park, brought to you by Jackson Enterprises. This event has attracted huge crowds, with several hundred truck drivers and enthusiasts coming to support a race meeting which is uniquely theirs. The first round in Timaru saw Malcolm Little take the win in all three races, but at round two at Ruapuna it was a different story. Little got a DNF in race 2, which was won by Shane Gray, and with 2 third-place finishes to add to his overall points, we now have them entering the final round separated by just 4 points, with Ash Hay not too far behind.
Needed to be winning the qualifier and the first race to have a good hand on the cup. At the moment, it's still open.
The 3 races here, you know, so it's never over until it's over. Tight little track, be an interesting little challenge.
Oh, we sort of want to keep our third position in the championship, so yeah, we're going to kind of just see what happens, really.
The Super Truck Racing this weekend is on the shortened track here at Taupo, which is 2.2 kilometres long. Plenty of passing opportunities here on turns 4 and 5, and a tricky chicane after turn 6 then leads into a short straight into turn 8 that creates another good passing opportunity. Race 1 was a rolling start, 7-lap race in order of qualifying times. Shane Gray started from second on the grid, lost 4 places in this first corner incident by braking too late. Shane Gray was determined to gain valuable championship points and quickly took back a spot, overtaking Ken Rowe on the second lap. Troy Wheeler took advantage of Gray's mistake and tried to put some distance between himself and the rest of the field. This left the pack of Ash Hay, Kane Scott, Shane Gray and Kenny Rowe battling for third place. Ash Hay needed championship points to stay ahead of Wheeler and was not going to let him out of his sight. Shane Gray was the mover in the pack though and got past Kane Scott, who made the very same mistake Shane did on the first lap by braking too late into turn 1 and opening the door for Gray. By the 5th lap, it looked like Shane Gray was going to move into third position, but Ash Hay was having none of it, pushing his international S-line to the limit and proving that the young man could be a future truck racing champion. Malcolm Little and Troy Wheeler, those drove a seamless race to finish first and second consecutively, with Ash Hay holding on to third from Shane Gray.
Yeah, it was important to get the qualifier and to clinch the first race. So no, we're happy with that.
We had a good race, lucky break. I think Shane went into that first corner a little bit hard and let us sneak through.
No, pretty happy with that. A little bit worried about how the championship might go now though, because Troy finished 1 place ahead of us and he's the one behind me, sort of thing.
Very wet conditions for race number 2. This is a 9-lap handicap race, so Brent Jones in the Bedford will be off first. 15 seconds behind is Darren Thompson and Ken Rowe, and 20 seconds behind them is the main pack of Terry McGee, Kane Scott, Troy Wheeler on his own, then Shane Gray and Malcolm Little from the back. So again, I'm joined in commentary by Carlos Goodwin, and wet conditions on this shortened Taupo layout. It's not easy out there for these boys.
No, and we're all running on controlled Continental tyres there, and they don't have wets. She's a dry and a wet tyre.
Oh, look at the attitude from Kane Scott and the McGinty's Kenworth. Scott back in the championship. Didn't contest the first round at levels with engine problems for the big Kenworth. But the big talk of the championship, as we said earlier on, Carl, was Ruapuna, where Malcolm Little did have his problems that really tightened up the championship between himself and Shane Gray.
Yeah, that's right. He had a Jacob's ladder let go on him on the diff there, and he had to pull out of the race. And also not forgetting Truck 12 got a big hit there from Peter Tangi, which put him out of the weekend.
Truck 12, of course, you refer to as Kenny Rowe. On board there with Troy Wheeler, with Malcolm Little working on his back bumper. So the shortened configuration here at Taupo, where they make that left-hander at about, I think, turn number 8 across the back of the circuit. So old Troy Wheeler goes around, locks up the rear brakes. Malcolm Little has to take avoiding action, as does Shane Gray.
Yeah, that certainly hasn't helped his points. Ashley might sneak through on him here as well if he can't get going quick enough.
Here's the replay on board with Wheeler. A unique view looking back down the main straight at Taupo, and Malcolm Little. That would have had the eyes on for Troy Wheeler going, Malcolm, go left.
Lovely pirouette there, lovely.
Shane Gray also getting by him as well. So Kane Scott, it'll be interesting when he and Malcolm Little get together, because there's no love lost there after the last round of the championship at Ruapuna last season.
No, not at all. And here's our first vision of Terry McGee's Mac rip snort there on the bonnet, and he's finally got it going great. And I tell you what, that's an immaculate truck to see.
Oh, and he's sideways, and a very distinctive sounding truck as well. And it's only it's only a baby at 14.25 litres.
Only a baby, yeah. But he's definitely got a lot more speed out of it than the last owner. So no, they're going good.
Well, McGee qualified 5th after qualifying. Then they went to the top 5 shootout, which was won by Malcolm Little. Now, that was important for the championship because it gave him some more points in that battle between himself and Shane Gray, who slips up the inside of McGee, both carrying on boards. There's Kane Scott just ahead of them in that distinctive green McGinty's Kenworth.
Yes, and Kane slowing them up big time there. Could have some issues with his brakes or something there.
Yeah, McGee's got to look to go around the outside, and you can see that rain's got a lot heavier here at Taupo, so treacherous, slippery conditions. McGee sideways through the infield here at Taupo.
Yes, I guess poor old Terry there didn't get going in levels, so hasn't driven this new truck much.
There's the replay of that big sideways moment. In fact, 2 sideways moments for McGee. 666 just ahead of him, Darren Thompson.
Yes, Darren bought that truck up this weekend from Wellington. Had a few dramas to make it to the South Island, but good to see him out here and making up the numbers.
So a good lineup here at Taupo for the final round of the New Zealand Truck Racing Championship, brought to you by Jackson Enterprises. Back on board with Shane Gray, the championship battle between himself and Malcolm Little. Little getting a little bit of a points break after that race 1 win.
Yes, looks like Shane's got through the inside of Darren there, trying to keep his championship alive and hunt down Malcolm.
Yeah, Kane Scott's just dropped off the back of those guys on board with Terry McGee, who's ahead of the former 2-time NZV8 champion. I don't know that there's too many things that Kane Scott hasn't driven in New Zealand motorsport. Transams, touring cars and trucks. He'll drive anything.
Yeah, you did right there. I mean, every time you walk past Kane in the pit lane there, he's always smiling, and I think he likes the challenge of these things because they are certainly more of a handful than perhaps a V8.
I know he was pretty disappointed to lose out in that championship battle with Malcolm Little at the end of last season's championship, and it hasn't quite gone to plan this year, but hopefully we'll see Kane back for 2012. So it's the championship leader, Malcolm Little, working his way towards the front of the second race of the weekend from Taupo. The action continues on the other side of this.